Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And I wanted to talk about rebuilding trust in a relationship. Rebuilding trust in a relationship is not easy. I don't want to make it seem like it's something that will be fixed overnight because that would not be realistic, right? So, trust is something that is built over time. And unfortunately, it is something that can be broken very easily. And in order to rebuild that trust, it will take time and consistency, just as it did in the beginning. It actually might take a little bit longer because to rebuild trust is a little bit more difficult to navigate. I just don't want to sell you guys on some idea that it's going to be fixed overnight or that you will be able to rebuild trust in 1 week, because again, that would not be realistic. And that's not what this video is about. So if you were hoping to be able to figure out a way of rebuilding that trust in a very quick amount of time, this is not the video for you. This video is going to break down some of the fundamental aspects of being able to rebuild that trust. But again, it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. You are going to need to be able to exercise humility and patience in order to achieve that goal. So let's get right into it. The first thing to do in order to start to rebuild trust is to be transparent. Transparency is key in the rebuilding of trust. And what does that mean? That means you are completely open and honest and authentic. You are not hiding anything. There is no secrecy. And your partner feels like they can begin to trust you. Now, the breaking of trust, there are many different ways in which trust is broken in a relationship. That can be infidelity. That can be a lie that was said. That can be, an inconsistency that happened over years. It's just, there's many different ways that trust is broken. And depending on how it was broken is how you will approach it. These are generalized foundational type steps that you can start to utilize in order to rebuild trust, but each situation and circumstance is different. So just keep that in mind. So again, just to reiterate, the first one is complete and total transparency. The second step is consistency. Remaining consistent helps, again, to rebuild that trust because you want to make sure that you are showing your partner that you are trying, that you are keeping your word, because in these types of situations, actions speak louder than words. And it's one of those cliche phrases that we hear all the time, but it carries a lot of weight and it is 100% true. So if you tell your partner that you are going to be home every day after work at 5:30, then you are home every day after work at 5:30. Now I understand things happen, there's storms, there's accidents on the road, whatever the case may be. But if that is the case, keeping an open line of communication and letting your partner know where you are and when you will be home is incredibly important, because this also falls into the pattern of consistency. If you tell your partner that you're going to pick up the kids from school every day on Wednesday, then you pick up the kids every day from school on Wednesday. Re-establishing that level of consistency will help to kind of start to rebuild the foundation of your relationship and allow your partner to feel like they can rely on you for certain things, which is one of the fundamental aspects of building trust. The third one is accountability. Taking accountability, being responsible for your actions. If you messed up, you messed up. Own it. If you maybe said something in a tone that was maybe not so respectful or so nice, own it. If you try to dismiss your partner's feelings, if you try to deflect, if you gaslight your partner and make them feel like they're crazy because, you're not doing anything wrong, that is not going to help you in this process. You are wanting to rebuild trust with your partner. And in order to do that, you have to take accountability for your actions. So if the mistake that you made is what is responsible for the breaking of trust, you have to take accountability for that mistake. You have to own it, you have to recognize it, and you have to convince your partner that you will never make that same mistake again. But again, we are humans and we make mistakes all the time, but it is about the effort that you put in and the actions over the words. The fourth one is forgiveness. This goes for both people, right? The person who was betrayed in a sense and feels like they can't trust their partner, and the person who broke trust. Forgiveness on both ends is really, in a sense, the start of the process. Now, it may take some time in order to feel like you can fully forgive your partner, but at the end of the day, if you want to continue with a relationship, forgiveness is necessary. It is a necessity in this process. So for the person who made the mistake, forgive yourself. We make mistakes. Human beings are not perfect, but only forgive yourself after you feel you have put the work in, after you have empathized with your partner, after you have displayed patience and humility, after you've taken accountability, after you've been consistent, after you've been transparent. All of the steps that you take in this process will lead to you being able to forgive yourself and move on from that guilt and that shame that you harbor within yourself. Likewise, with your partner, if you are the person that was betrayed, you have to be willing to forgive your partner in order to move forward. If you do not forgive them, you will never move past the breaking of trust. The last and final step is setting expectations and boundaries. This is absolutely crucial and necessary in this process, right? So when trust is broken, in order to rebuild that trust, there have to be certain rules that you follow where you are able to feel safe and that you can start to trust your partner again. So for you, if they, broke trust because of infidelity, and you feel like you need to be able to trust them again, and you're not 100% sure how to do that, but there are certain boundaries that you want to set. One of the primary ones is making sure that there is complete and total transparency, right? So if you tell your partner, I'm going to need you to divulge information to me, or if I have a question about something, I need you to be able to answer it with complete and total honesty. If at some point your partner lies to you down the line when you are having these conversations, what does that boundary look like? What is that repercussion? Does that mean you walk away from the conversation and you come back and revisit it later? Does that mean that you take a few steps back and maybe have to repeat one of the previous steps? Whatever that looks like for you, it is absolutely necessary that you apply boundaries and you set expectations so that you feel like you are able to manage and navigate the circumstance in the situation. Boundaries are healthy. They are not negative. They are not limitations. They're not walls. It's really how you apply them that will help you get the results that you are looking for. So again, just to repeat some of the primary steps that you can take in order to rebuild trust in a relationship. The first one is transparency. The second one is consistency. The third one is accountability. The fourth one is forgiveness. And the fifth one is setting boundaries and expectations. If you related to this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. I love having open dialogue with people. So if you feel like you related to this, or if you feel like I missed something, please leave your comments down below. I love to read them. If you just want to dive in a little bit deeper and you want more details, you can visit us at happily-committed.com, where we have a multitude of different articles and blogs and videos that you can utilize. If you want to book a one-on-one coaching session with myself or any other of the amazing coaches that we have on the team, you can also book directly through the website. Again, I am Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you guys soon.